Hello and welcome to part 10 of this series on strumming patterns and rhythm playing. If you haven't seen the other short videos yet, click on the card above and that will take you to the playlist. So in this week's lesson we're going to be looking at dynamics. So dynamics are basically how quietly or loudly parts of a song are. Okay, so you can change up the, some parts of a song might be loud, some parts might be really soft, and it allows you to kind of get some variety in your dynamics in your playing. So it's really useful. So let's look at a few sort of terms first. So common terms, there's quite a lot, but let's just look at the common terms. You often see this on tab and might not know what they mean. So you've got these little symbols below the tab. So F is forte basically. MF is mezzo forte, that basically means moderately loud. Then you've got MP, mezzo piano, that's basically moderately quiet. And then you've got P. And you've also got sort of, you can have a double P, a triple P, you can also have a double F and so on. So that's kind of different degrees. So if you had a double P, that's going to be really quite quiet. And then, quite a few Fs there, you're going to be really loud. So they're the kind of the main ones you're going to see quite often in music. You also can see kind of the crescendo symbols or the decrescendo or diminuendo symbols. That's basically gradually getting louder or gradually getting softer. So it's worth being kind of aware of these symbols and dynamic markings, and that way you can kind of really kind of vary up your patterns and sort of improve your overall playing. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to do sort of 3 progressions, and I'm going to put some of these symbols in there, and hopefully you can practice that at the different sort of volume levels and things like that. So the first progression, we're going to start off with an F minor, but we're using kind of a power chord, rocky kind of progression. We're going to start off with an F5 power chord, so that's 1, 3, 3. And what you're going to do, 2-beat pattern, 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4 E and. So we're going to start off quite loud, 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4 E and. Then we're going to go to a D flat power chord, so that's 4, 6, 6, root note on the A string, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So quaver and crotchet type pattern here, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and up, down, up. And then we're going to do a split bar of B flat 5 to G5, using the pattern that we had in bar 1. And then we've got a nice C7 sus4 chord, 1 and 2 and 3. Also puts an arpeggiated chord here. That's why I'm doing a downstroke here. So it sounds really nice. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so these first 4 bars of this kind of 8-bar phrase are going to be quite loud. So B flat. Cool, and then what I would do, so I'll put this MP symbol there, so it's a lot quieter, and we're going to pick the kind of chord. So again, a lot of the way you play the notes will have an impact on the dynamics as well, okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to take an F5 chord, play it a lot quieter. And this also will help to change the mood of a particular song, really powerful, really soft and laid back and things like that. So this bar again, a lot softer, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Again, feel free to change this up. If you're not comfortable with these chords, do some of the other chords and play around with it. So D5 power chord here, half a bar, down, up, and then a augmented power chord, really nice. First finger, 3rd fret, A, 3rd finger, 6th fret, D, middle finger, 5th fret, G. So a nice little kind of passing chord here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and do the same thing with this E flat 5, but it's going to be a lot softer now because we're still in that MP kind of zone, moderately quiet. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now what we can do, C5, we can do a crescendo and gradually build up the volume, back up so it's ready. If you loop it round, it's going to be loud on that F5. So yeah, so practice things like that. So 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and and then you're back in of that F5. So it's really good to be able to be aware of these different types of dynamic markings. So what I'll do is I'll kind of play that whole progression. So we've got a few things here. We start off quite loud, then we go moderately soft or quiet, and then we've got a crescendo at the end. Okay, so you start off quite loud, F5, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and soft and quiet. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So again, lots of cool stuff there. And if you're doing the kind of grade 6 or beyond grades in the UK here, RGT or rock score, all these kind of advanced chords will be really useful. But if you're not comfortable with these chords, just play these progressions with different types of chords that you're comfortable with. Okay, cool. So now we're going to do the same sort of thing. We're going to start off moderately loud here, MF, okay. And I've also got some staccato in here. We've got a diminuendo or decrescendo, moderately quiet again, and then we've got a crescendo at the end, okay. So we're going to start off, this is going to be in the key of B flat major here. So B flat, bar chord, 1, 3, 3, 3, 1. Okay, strumming pattern wise, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we've got B flat major 7, middle finger 2nd fret G, little finger 3rd fret B, 3rd finger 3rd fret D, and bar the 1st fret from the A string. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now we've got some staccato here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's sort of short, snappy notes here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then F7 and sus4. Great chord. Bar all 6 strings here, and then put your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret A, little finger 3rd fret G. Down, down, up, down, up. Classic common strumming pattern here. So now we've got here, this is another thing to sort of bear in mind. You've got kind of bass and treble playings. So this can also help the way you sort of strum the chords, pick the chords like we did in the first progression, will also have an impact on the dynamics. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start off, moderately loud, and then gradually quieten down at the end. So here we'll do the B flat major chord again. Look at quieter as we go through the bar in this diminuendo or decrescendo. And here what I've done is just kind of the bassy notes on most of the quavers or 8th notes, and on the and of 1 and the and of 3, just kind of play the more treblier strings. Okay, so that will have an impact in your playing as well, kind of bass and treble distinction. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, but get gradually quieter throughout the bar. Okay, and then that'll sort of nicely soften now, and we're going to go into a moderately quiet section with a D minor 7. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and this is the strumming pattern here. Down, up, it's up, down, up. That's 8 quavers. So this is the same for your bar 1 and 2 as well. So 8 quavers or 8 notes, and then a tie on the start of beat 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and G minor 7. And a C7. Which sounds like a key. And then what we can do is do a kind of gradual crescendo to build it up back to the start. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's really nice. Again, you can even start off with the kind of bassier notes and do the treblier strings later on. Okay, so this is an E flat major 7 here. Bar the 1st fret from the D string, then bar the 3rd fret, G, B and E. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So cool, so here we've got a few different things going on. We've got some crescendo, diminuendo. Certain sections are played quietly, certain sections are played moderately loud. So it's worth looking out for these in, if you're learning from tab books or tabs online, if they've been properly put in there. Okay, so again, key of B flat major. So we're going to start off quite loud. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Staccato on an E flat chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 7 sus4. Then we're going to gradually get quieter in this next bar and do some kind of bass and treble stuff here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and D minor 7, nice and soft here. G minor 7, C7, and then E flat major 7, gradually building up. So yeah, so play around with that. And you don't have to use these chords. These are just sort of suggestions and sound quite nice. So cool, so now what we're going to do is we're also going to mix in some accents and palm muting that we have looked at on previous lessons. Again, that's also another way that you can kind of emphasize and help you out with dynamics. Okay, so the idea is you use all these different combinations at various times. So here we're going to do a slightly slower tempo and use some semiquavers or 16th note patterns. Again, feel free to check out the other videos or the card above. I'll semiquavers and 16th note patterns. So here we're going to do this is going to be in the key of E minor, E natural minor. So we're going to use an E minor 7 chord here. So first finger, second fret D, middle finger, second fret. So first finger, second fret A, sorry, middle finger, second fret D, third finger, third fret B. I'm just going to do some nice 16th note strumming. So 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 and so this is down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. E minor 7 there, and C major 7, same strumming pattern. So this is like a C without your first finger. And we're starting off this moderately quiet. So instead of starting off loud like we have the other two progressions, we're starting off quiet this time. And then G major, but we're going to start off the bar doing some palm muting. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and another way to kind of vary out the dynamics. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and gradually build up the volume, crescendo with an A7. Build up to a moderately loud volume now. So same strumming patterns we had in bar 1 and same again now but with a D chord. And now what we're going to do is going to put in an accent and also some palm muting. So we're going to start off the bar, downstroke C major, and there's an accent there on the and of 2 just to bring out that B flat minor 7, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and same rhythm with the next bar, an A minor 7. So that B minor 7, it's like a normal B minor without your little finger, bar the second fret and then put third finger, fourth fret D, middle finger, third fret B, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and do the same thing with A minor 7. So it's like an A minor without your third finger, middle finger, second fret D, first finger, first fret B, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the accent on the and of 2. So look out for all those little things when you're learning songs. So middle finger, second fret G, first finger, first fret B, little finger or third finger, third fret E. So this is the last chord, D7 sus4. Really nice chord that. So A minor 7. Cool, so there's a few things going on here. We're starting off softer this time, then gradually building up the volume on the A7 bar. We've also got a bit of palm muting and accents as well. And the idea is, there's no set way of learning this. The idea is you just want to kind of be aware of all these markings and practice those and be conscious and aware of, how loud you're playing certain things. Are you always playing at the same velocity? Are you always really hard, on the guitar? So it's worth kind of being aware of that. So let's play this whole of this progression. So this is an 8-bar progression in the key of E minor. So E minor 7, starting off quietly this time. 1 and 2 and a 3 E and 4 and a 1, 2 and a 3 E and 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and build it up. E minor 7, louder now. And D major, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and C to B minor 7. Same here now. A minor 7 to D7 sus4. Cool, so there are 3 progressions. Hopefully you find that useful. Feel free to give it a thumbs up and comment, or any suggestions, feel free to let me know in the comments section below. Please subscribe and hit that bell icon for notifications if you haven't already. If you'd like to get hold of any of the tabs that you see on the screen here, these are all made in a brilliant program called Guitar Pro. And you can get them in PDF format if you don't want them in Guitar Pro. So if you want to get any of the tabs for these videos, these are all available on my new website, Jsmusicschool.co.uk. So just head over to the shop section there. And it'll allow you, for example, if you've got Guitar Pro, to speed up, slow down tracks and loop sections. So this will be a great way of, just playing these individual three progressions and just looping them over. And obviously they have the dynamics in the program as well, so you can kind of follow them quite well. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Cheers, bye.